Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over all the trades we ended up taking throughout the week, and then tomorrow I'll go over what we took on Friday. So I'm going to recap the trades from Monday to Thursday on what we took. It was a really, really good week. I think we probably caught anywhere from like 500 to 550 points on NQ. It was a really good week, a lot of good setups, and I'm going to go over exactly what we did. So to start off, this is what we ended up doing to start the week. I'm just going to drag these over. These are just screenshots that I had from the week on the options chart. So on Monday, I don't even think we ended up taking anything intraday. If we go back to Monday, I think it was just kind of a choppier day, and then we had this call cross end up forming here, and I didn't take it because it was very ugly. I mean, when we get a cross 50 down super hard, I'm not taking that, and it finally curled up when the price was all the way at like $3. So this is a trade I was not taking, and I'm pretty sure that was just about all we did on Monday. And I think I took a short at 944, and I ended up going break even and got stopped out at break even. So that's pretty much how the Monday went. Really wasn't much going on. I'm not sure what the opening play was on NQ here on why I went short at 944. If I had to guess, it was probably a something like with the 0DT chart, or it was a fib level, one or the other, but I just don't remember what I ended up taking here at 944. But yeah, that's pretty much what we did on Monday, break even, and then that was that. I mean, there wasn't anything else to take. And then on Tuesday, we end up getting a put cross, simple put cross right here. We ended up taking, catching around 90 points. I was all out. Really good move out of that. It was just simple 10 SMA crossing above the 50 SMA on these 0DT puts we had on our watch list for the day. So all we did was play this cross, got 90 points, and yeah, I think I was probably up like 40, 50 points pretty much right off the bat. We ended up just going break even from there, trimmed some, and then was all out at 90 points. So was a good move there. And then right after that, we actually ended up pulling back to the 50 right here. So this ended up peaking pretty much. Actually, these are different contracts. I think this is actually later in the day. This ended up crossing negative and then recrossing. So yeah, we got the recross right up in here. And then on this pullback right to the 50, that's where I entered short. So we went short on this pullback at 115, and this was pretty much the top tick. I trimmed half for around 60 points, and then I actually ended up holding this until I was all out at 80 points. So that was right at 205. So if I could find 205 wherever that was, this is 135. I ended up holding this until this move right in here at on this move lower right here to like 160. That's where I end up closing it all off at 205. It was just getting a little choppy, and I ended up trimming half for 60 points, and then I was all out for 80 points. And this ended up not crossing negative. I think we were also at some fib level, so I think that's why I didn't fully stop out of this. Actually, no, my bad. I was actually break even on this trade. So I went break even, and it just missed my break even stop. So I actually got a little bit lucky on this one and didn't get stopped out, and this ended up going a bit lower. So that's why I didn't stop out with the closure below the 50. I just went risk-free break even. And when this ended up pulling back, NQ I guess was probably a little bit weaker, and I still didn't get stopped out. So since we bought at the 50, and I think we were probably trading the weaker pair, I didn't stop out with the closure below, and then on this leg lower I just ended up selling. So that's pretty much what we ended up doing on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we ended up playing a fib level that we ended up shorting. And then that also lined up with the 0DT chart. So we ended up pulling back to this 50 SMA, which typically you're not just taking a trade off of this right here. This is not a trade I would take in a neutral market. If we had trend in the market, this is a 50 dip you buy. If we're neutral, you don't buy this dip. But since we had the fib level in sync with this 50 SMA, this is a really good setup, so we ended up taking that right here. This was the 69, 64 short, I believe, is what we ended up taking. So on this pullback up to this fib, I went short on NQ, and yeah, this was a really good move. You could see this was pretty much the top, and we just went straight lower. This was almost a 200-point trade. I was all out of this, probably around 150 points maybe, is where I ended up selling my runners at, but I trimmed a good chunk for probably like 60 to 70 points, and then my stop loss went break even, and then I trimmed more on the leg lower over probably 100 points, and then I think peak it was up probably 180 to 190 points, probably right around 200. So yeah, I ended up closing all my runners at 1121. So that was on this little bit of a pullback here. That's where I just got out. It went a tiny bit lower, hit the fib again, and then bounced. So yeah, that was a pretty good sell on my part. And that's what we did, I believe, on Wednesday, and that was it. So, and then what day do we have? On the 15th, I actually took a short overnight. These overnight trades don't play out that well, I'm not going to lie. You're probably better off not taking them, but when I do take them, I go like really light size. It's probably more than half size that I go. It's probably more so like a quarter size, because some of these like trades on NQ, sometimes I take like 5 to 7 MNQ. If I'm really confident, I'll take more so 10 to 15 MNQ. So when I'm taking these trades overnight, it's more so like only a couple MES. Like I don't even trade NQ overnight. I'd take MES overnight, and I only rock a couple contracts to that. So it's like 3 to 5 contracts, probably in that range, 3 to 6, something like that. So I'm only risking like 150 to probably like 250 in that range on a single trade. So it's not that much when I'm trading, MNQ during the day, and we're catching over 100 points on like 5 to 10 contracts. It's a big difference when it comes to my overnight trades and my intraday trades. The overnight trades, I go a lot lighter size. So if you guys are in the Discord, that's how I operate with those, and I always say that. I always say I'm a lot lighter on these trades. It's just not worth taking overnight trades with size, or you just don't take them at all. It's really all up to you and what you want to be doing. But that's pretty much all that we end up doing Monday to Thursday. Very simple. We caught a couple 0DT crosses, 50 dip on the one trade. We took a fib level here, and that was pretty much the week. On Friday, we had a really good day again, so I'll be sure to go over that tomorrow, but that's pretty much how the week went. I don't think there was any trend established on the 30-minute the entire week, so I'm pretty sure we were neutral the entire week. If we just pull up the options charts, see what we have here on the 30-minute, but I really don't think there was any true trend developed. If we go to Monday here, you can see a little bit of a funky Monday where we recaptured the trend, crossed back negative, and from that point on, we were neutral. I mean, there was really nothing going on. We ended up trying to cross right here on the 30-minute, never did because this 50 was sloped down the entire time. It was a neutral week pretty much, except for Monday. We were still kind of slightly bullish up in here, but I think, did we end up hitting like the 4-hour 50 maybe? We did. Yeah, we did. So we ended up hitting that 4-hour 50 beginning of the week. It's kind of ended up topping us, which made sense. No true trend developed here on the 30-minute. That's kind of what we use as our bias. And when we're not crossed on either side, it's kind of just wait for a fib level, wait for a 0DT cross, and go from there. When we're crossed here on the 30-minute, that's kind of the side we're focused on. So, that's pretty much what we did throughout the week. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, join the Discord down below. It's where I share all these trades, all the knowledge on the systems in there. And that's the place to be fun and learn. So that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.